Hey, it's Joseph here. I've got a double mic from Movo and they have sent me this microphone for the unboxing in review purpose. So I'm about to check it out. And I guess the name of the microphone kind of lets you know what this is, but supposedly it has microphone on the front and the back so that you can kind of record at the same time, and I'll tell you why that is kind of important for a certain type of people. This box includes the shock mount, carrying case, foam windscreen, and furry windscreen, the dead cat, and that is pretty much all we expect inside of this box. They also say that it has 2-year warranty. Without further ado, let's go ahead and open it. I really have been enjoying Movo products since I do use them quite often, and I have featured them on my channel a few times now. Actually, the microphone that I'm shooting from is Movo as well. I don't know if you can see that, but it is Movo VXLR 10 Pro, which I have tested and showcased in my previous video. So I'll leave the link down below as well. But this one is another microphone that supposedly could be a lot popular as well. So first of all, we've got the shock mount. I can't say the name of this because it's kind of weird. The name of it is Rycote or Rycote Lyre or Lyre. I don't know how to say that, but I probably butchered it anyways. But this is a shock mount cold shoe with the 1/4-20 thread on the bottom, and you can easily mount that onto your cameras. And then here is the microphone. It's got attached cable, which is kind of interesting choice because usually you can detach the cable so that you can replace them, but this is somehow attached, and there is a screw that you can undo to perhaps replace. I'm not sure, but yeah, this one is attached, so there's no losing of the cable, but also I guess there's no way to detach if that becomes broken unless you really unscrew these. So that's an interesting choice. But as you can see, the microphone is on both sides, and then there are a couple of switches that you can flip through. So it's got front and rear, and then rear, and then here is the phone, and then camera. Usually the way to select whether it's gonna be smartphone versus camera is through the cable, and it changes from 4-pole to 3-pole, but in this case I suppose they're trying to control it with the little switch and how many pole the cable is gonna output. And there is a headphone jack for semi-monitoring, and I say that because I have seen this on the VXLR 10 Pro, and it's not necessarily monitoring the sound simultaneously, but basically it allows you to play back the sound so that you can hear the sound through the microphone and then headphone connected. Once you plug this thing into your smartphone, basically your headphone jack gets blocked. So you can't really plug any other headphone in and then try to listen to what you have recorded. But instead, you can now just plug your headphone onto this jack over here. That way you can actually play whatever that you have recorded after the fact, not during, and listen it without taking this plug out and then reinserting, that sort of thing. So that is what that headphone jack is for, just in case you have sort of misunderstood. I suppose I could test it out briefly on my phone as well. So let me just go ahead and go to the recording software and then change the mode to smartphone. Microphone testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. I'll play this back on actual recording so you are actually hearing this out. Microphone testing, 1 2 3. There's probably a lot of handling noise as well, so we'll actually install the shock mount. And these things are always hard, so I'm trying best not to pinch my finger. Do the shock mount over here, and then let me see what else is in the box content for you to read through. And then there's a nice carrying case, and in here one foam screen, and then I guess you can just put this on the tip here. What about one over here? There's another foam, so I guess you just put this on. It's a pretty tight fit, but you probably want something like this, especially when you're speaking to the microphone quite close. Otherwise you're gonna blow wind or your breath into the microphone and gonna have a bit of weird pops. And then another one here, let me put that on. Oh, this went in a lot easier. The foam work is kind of weird right now because it's just out of the case, but over time it'll kind of be more rounded. And then here is a dead cat. So if you're in more windy environment, I suppose you could put that on. So there's 2 dead cats included in here. If you're a more outdoorsy person than I am, I suppose you can use these 2, but for me, I don't really go outdoor all that much nowadays. So this will do for the studio setup, but if you're willing to go outside, I suppose you can use this instead. So I'll just put this in the case. Let's go ahead and test this microphone. There's gonna be less handling noise at this point. So microphone testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. This is about a foot away from my mouth, and then this is a rear microphone testing, 1 2 3. And then I'm gonna flip that around. As I flip around, this is now the front of the microphone testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. This is on a smartphone mode. And then as I start recording, now you're gonna hear the sound through a Sony A7C. This is an internal microphone of Sony. And then microphone testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. And then I'm gonna move the camera just where I'm gonna record from. So you're hearing the sound from VXLR 10 Pro. And then I'm about to install the Movo DoubleMic. And I guess you can kind of mount it however you want it, but I'm gonna try and aim the front side. Okay, so I'm actually hearing the sound as Sony A7C allows me to monitor the sound with its headphone jack. Right now I have configured it so that the Movo DoubleMic is on the camera mode, and then it is now recording through the rear, so you probably hear the sound just fine. But then I can switch to the FR, which is front and rear. And strangely, I have this clicking noise on the monitoring, but I don't know how it is when you're actually hearing the sound. But there's a bit of clicking noise. I don't know where that is being caused from. Now it is kind of picking up both sound from the back and the front, and it's kind of echoey, and I kind of hear that. Now I can switch to the rear mode, and as this is cardioid, you probably have much less echo as it cancels out any noise that is being bounced and doesn't sound as echoey. It's more direct. I can kind of hear that, so you will probably hear that difference as well. Microphone testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. This is a sound recording from Movo DoubleMic, and this is a sound from VXLR Pro, which is a usual microphone for the studio recording, which is just mounted right here. Let me just pull that down just so you have a visual reference. So this is the same Movo VXR Pro microphone mounted over here, about 8 inches away. And then now this is the sound from Movo DoubleMic, just the rear set that is set up to pick up just the sound from the rear, and it's about a foot away. Let's have a more equal comparison. So microphone testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's about the same distance from my mouth, and then I'm just talking and it's picking up from the rear. And now if there's somebody who I want to point at, and if that person is talking, then I can switch the mode, and then now it's gonna be from the front. And obviously I'm not talking directly to the microphone, so this is a poor practice. So if you were to look at me, now the sound is gonna be much better. So if you're interviewing somebody or shooting what's in front of you, then you probably change to the front mode, versus if you're trying to talk whilst shooting at something, showing whatever the scene that you have, then you want to talk to the back of it, so switch over. How are we looking? So you can see me, I'm talking to the front. Now I'm picking up from both front and the back. So if I point at my other recording camera, I can still show that and talk to the microphone, or flip around, I can still talk to the microphone. So if you're the type of person who does a lot of vlogging, showing what's going around you, as well as kind of talking to the camera like this and then showing what's around you type of person, then you can quickly flip back and forth and count that your microphone is gonna pick up the sound correctly. I just thought this microphone is so cool, allowing you to talk to the microphone from the front and the back as well. I'm definitely going to be using this whenever I go out for shooting. If you also find this product to be useful for your purposes, you can use the link in the description, which is an affiliated link. Whilst it doesn't cost you anything extra, it does help to support this channel, so I would highly appreciate if you do so. And please don't forget to like this video if you did, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to watch these type of videos. And thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next time. Bye.